I'll just say I did feel kind of young again, and just kind of myself. Um, Actually, and I was actually picturing myself at the beach. So before you said that the labels were rocks, I was I was actually like putting the labels out into the ocean. So they're like, oh no, now they're rocks. I'm gonna toss them. But I did feel young and like more myself. I felt like I was
Okay.
just peeling off layers. So
Okay. Thank you. All right. So when we asked you guys to introduce yourselves, one of the defaults that we have is we introduce ourselves by our roles and our titles. And part of that, when we're in the space of motherhood, we start to forget who we are. But you were a whole woman before you became a mother. Are you still a woman, even though you are a mother? We lose sight of it because we've taken on all the roles. And while, yes, it absolutely, some of these are absolutely a choice, some of these are just given to us and we just figure out our way through it. But I don't want us to lose sight of who we are. So the activity that we're doing today, Keisha, you said it, who am I without my roles? That's exactly what we're going to discover today. So yay. Ashley, I had mentioned to everybody else, you need two pieces of paper. All right. So actually, let's jump into just some questions before we do this. How do the roles that you wrote down, how have those shaped you to be the person that you are today? Positive or negative? How have they shaped you? You can pick like one or two roles.
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah. So the roles that you wrote down, how have they shaped you into being the person that you are today?
I think I've increased in boldness after having my first child, and then it just got increasingly more. I remember one time my son was maybe like 3 weeks old, and someone had knocked on the door, and it was some mail that a delivery that got dropped off. Um, and it was the wrong delivery to our house. So then another man walks or comes and knocks at the door, and my ex-husband my husband at the time, but another man knocks on the door because I opened it thinking somebody was sending a gift. It was the baby, my son was that name. And the man's like, "Where's my box?" And there was nothing in it but like this little thing. Now, granted, I didn't look at, I'm postpartum, but I'm not thinking about anything. I'm like, what is this? So the man bangs on the door, is like, "Where's my box?" And I was like, "Here's your box." I can't believe you opened my box. And something just, and I, not even really thinking, just pop off. And I was really surprised at how like just this mama bear that I hadn't experienced before and so soon. But then the next thing was I'm calling my husband. I'm gonna tell him what happened, and he needs to be ready to, like, I'm setting it up like you're gonna be protector. I'm assigning like you're gonna be protector, and they got into it outside, and he made sure he had what was in the trunk, and like it really got escalated. But I was so upset that someone would come to my door and demand something like that from me. with my baby inside. Um, and ever since then, I've just had this tone of like, I want the smoke if you want the smoke, no matter what happens. Because I just have this instinct to protect. And I think that that has become, it's bold in the way that I protect. It's very peacock. It's very risky and edgy at times. And I have learned to be more mindful of that so that I also welcome. I'm just as bold in the self-discipline and restraint.
Mhm. I like the bold, um, protective. I think that was the thing, the mothering thing. I was prepared to be a mom with my first one. Um, Everything about her was planned except her father. And I was not prepared to be a wife. I said it. Yes, I did. I wasn't prepared to be a wife, but I was prepared to be a mom. And my mom always taught me as soon as you become a mom, your kids are your responsibility, no one else's, and you can't depend on a man. Um, and so that was when the hustle was born in me. Um, and everything I did became an example for my kid. I didn't realize that I didn't want to be an example. I didn't want to be an example. I just wanted to raise my kid. And I knew that my kid would be looking to me, but I didn't realize how very narrow my mind, like, or how often my mind would default to, okay, well, what's she going to think about this when she turns this age? What's she going to think about this when she turns this age? How are you going to talk to her when she's doing this thing at this age? Everything that I did became, the need to be the example. Just recognizing that you're your child's first teacher, but it didn't leave me any room to mess up. It didn't leave me any room to make mistakes. It didn't leave me any room to be messy. So there was a level of perfection that was also birthed out of that space. Um, I didn't marry her father, but I was very much not prepared to have a partner. Um, I witnessed my mom being married 3 times, and men did not do what now that I know men should do, in that life. So I never aspired to be married, um, and I didn't know how. I anticipated being a single mom, and so I operated my life as a single mom. And then when I met my I had my second and married her dad, I still got married and I operated as an independent person that happened to also be married. I was never prepared. And so that was its own little host of other issues. But that's where the expectations, all the expectations of other people, the weight of expectations came and like just kind of smacked me in the face, or were being thrown at my back. And so there's a lot of that, that shaped me. But now I am very much in the, I have to understand the story behind my expectations. And so now when I teach workshops, when I teach classes, when I do anything, if we're talking about expectations, yeah, there's a story behind your expectations. So have you taken the time to sit and listen to it, or sit and really just kind of formulated that story or gotten to understand that story? So that's how it shaped me. All right, Abby, thank you for joining us. Have a good day at work.
Hi, Abby.
All right. Does anybody else want to share before we move on?
I can share. So I was looking at the two roles. Um, and my first initial role, I would say, is mother. But then I looked at it again, and I think sister would really be big in my role. And because I'm the oldest of, three, and my siblings look up to me, and I kind of raised them in a way, in a big way, actually. So they were like my first like my first kids. You know what I mean? Like my siblings would be like, I would automatically have to learn how to be a nurturer and a caretaker in some sense of way. And just kind of always being a teacher. I always played teacher growing up. So I was always like love to be a boss and in charge. And I was like, okay, you guys are gonna be great, right? So then like if they messed up, I'd be like, okay, I got a second chance. I have my kids, right? Like let's do it again. But no, really they just really just look up to me, and it gives me that, like, leadership that I have with my siblings, and then that would naturally lead into motherhood for me, because my kids are always watching, and I feel like I've done this role before, and now that it's totally different, of course, when they're yours, um, I don't know. It just gives me like just like in tune with my feminine side and in tune with my um just really being a friend and tapping into my childhood for sure. Because you need your children to constantly keep you on your toes and keep your imagination going and growing. I'm grateful for my children because you got to just tap into that inner child, because what it would be to be 9 again, like no worries in the world. And it's like they're always watching. So I love motherhood and I love sisterhood. Um, for sure, those two. Yeah. Thanks.
All right. Okay. So the biggest thing with our roles, it's going to shape us one way or another, but we have to actually pay attention to them to see how it's shaped us and how it's influenced how we're moving now. So just giving yourself permission to pause and walk through each one of those roles and what it's contributed to your life, positive or negative. And is it something that, if it's negative, is it something that you want to stick with? Is it something that you want to, is it a way you want to continue to operate? Or is it something that you want to release? If it's something that you want to release, put an R next to it. This will be work that you guys can do later on. And there's some release activities and stuff that we can walk through and some ritual stuff. Um, but if it's something that has shaped you in the positive, write a gratitude note for it. And then speak that gratitude note, speak that out. There's so much opportunity that we have to be grateful for things, but a lot of the things in our past, we don't necessarily see it as something. We need to call it into attention and actually pay it for what it has offered. And you pay for it with gratitude. So to be able to speak those things out, why am I grateful for this thing? Because it shaped me in this way, and that's created this opportunity for me to do or show up or grow or do whatever. Yeah. Is there anything about that, as you dig into those words, those roles, is there anything about any of them that you find challenging when you're looking at them and deciding if it's something that's a positive or a negative, if it's a value add, or if it's something that's taking something from you? As you do a little bit more discovery into them, is there any of them that are causing anxiety or anything that you don't, any role that you don't want to lean into?
For me, when I think of mother, um, it's multifaceted, also grandmother. Um, they talk about the sandwich generation, if you will. So being a daughter, but then also having children, and then being a caregiver as well. So a mother is just multifaceted, but in its richness, it also brings about challenge because um, it's hard to be present or on um, as much as we are required to, because you're always, or I should speak for myself, but I always feel as though um, I am not really able to flex into who I am because I need to be something to all these other individuals. And so it's being comfortable with setting limits and the anxiety that that might cause because it might cause you to feel as though um, you are not fulfilling the role as it is named, described, even if the description is others' perception. Again, just going back to the multi facets, if you will, of these titles that we have or these roles that we have. Um, so it can be a blessing and a burden. And how do you remain true to um, who you are? And I know that as I become an empty nester, uh, being in tune with I've been all these different things for so long. Now, how do I get to know myself again?
It sounds like you don't want to let people down. There's also an element of that you're letting yourself down because you're not getting to prioritize you. Okay. Okay. Well, that's a beautiful segue because now we're going to get creative. I don't know how many of y'all are artistically inclined. I am an artiste of the stick figure variety. So hopefully y'all stuff look better than mine. But we are going to do an identity map. Yay! I know you're all so excited. Yay! No, nobody's excited. Okay, just me. Okay, it's fine. All right, so here's what I want you to do. It doesn't have to look exactly like mine. I don't care. But you're going to take your piece of paper, put a heart in the middle. You are the heart. And then you're going to have 5 different branches, 5 different arms or veins that come off of that heart. Okay, so you are the heart in the middle. One of those veins is going to be desires. One of those veins is going to be passions. We have values, strengths, and hobbies. So I'm going to stick them in the chat. Desires, passions. Oh, be nice to me. I can do words. Passion, values, strengths, and hobbies. All right, so there is all of those: desires, passion, values, strengths, and hobbies. So now what I need y'all to do is start writing. What is it that you enjoy? And whichever one is the easiest for you to navigate, whichever one is the easiest for you to write things under. I want you to write as many that you can, as many things that you can under that space. For me, it would be my values. So I can rattle off like 6 different values for me. And that's the lowest hanging fruit. And then move to the next easiest one, and then the next, and then the next. I'm going to give us about 5 minutes, and I'm going to ask that all of us share at least 2 categories in the chat. Okay. And you may not finish this entire thing. That's okay. This is one of those pieces that I want you to do because we're going to be in discovery mode with ourselves. So I'm going to put on a little music, and I'm going to also put on a timer. How many minutes did I say? 5. Okay. make sure y'all get y'all time.
My being is so lit. I don't burn out, I burn in. Burning all ideas and false concepts of womanhood, deceptive narratives of love, of softness, of nurturing and work ethic. The new I do is adoring through my being. The universe is responding to who I feel I am. Everything is about thought. Everything is about my vibration. Everything is about the way I feel. I practice scenarios that feel good. And never mind reality. Reality is sort of real. Creating, I'm kind to my doubt. I'm unconditionally trust that whatever I need to understand and know will become clear to me at the right time in the right way. The new I do. Wife your life. There would be no worship at fear's or pain's altar. Amazing people are always attracted to me. My energy is mad magnetic. I am mine before I'm anyone else's. My work ethic is rooted in fueled from my place of fullness, not depletedness and deficits. One knee and devote myself to self-love and be the example of his love for himself, and which I desire to experience with him. Whether I'm a married wife or a single wife, I will do by being my truth, being my nature, being my word. I vow to play. I love to play, and I play well, with freedom and joy, without shaming myself into emailing and achieving tasks. I embrace a playful, light, way of relaxing. I know my old conditioning. I see my memories, and I will love you. I will reshape you. I will put you to rest. My wins, choices, finances, triggers, personality, opinions, insecurities, my body, my organs, my mental health. I hold you all in the gentle palm of my awareness, and I say I do. I vow to my life. I am your wife. And from this place, all up in my presence of now, I will feel my spouse, my children, my opportunities, my sensuality, all my desires, my community, my healing, my money, my joy, and my infinite potential of wife in my life. This is the new I do, boo. Wife your life. Wife your life, ladies. Wife your life. I am ready for love. Why are
Oh. About 30 more seconds.
no, 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 it's vague. No, yes, say. No, 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 it's vague. No matter what you say. No, 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 it's vague. No, yes, say. No, 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 it's vague. No matter what you say.
Okay. How far did we get? So, okay, y'all just like this mute thing. Y'all
Well,
killing.
I was gonna say I went down a rabbit hole of just my desires,
Cool.
but I think it was critical though. Like I want glutes, I want a flat stomach.
Did you just say you want glutes?
Uh-huh. I was like toned body, money. Like, I just started like, come on already. But no, so like my desires I sure was like right. And even I lost my the right side of my face in May. And so it's like coming back in the way my identity is being tested. So it's just like been this, do I really have self-esteem? Do I really have confidence? Do I really value what I think I value? So I even put like I want my face back. I want my lid. I want those things back. So I went down a rabbit hole on desires.
That's okay. That's okay. All right, who else?
Brainstorming in some areas were far easier compared to others. I was able to jot something in all areas with the exception of passions. Um, I was stuck, and I don't know why. Um, and so, really, just sitting here contemplating, like, um, at what point did I lose touch, if you will, with passions?
Okay. Okay. Who else? Everybody gotta go. So y'all just go ahead, come off mute.
Okay. I kind of wrote a little bit in all of my veins to all of them. I really got into my passions also and my hobbies. So my hobbies with just art, nature, positive touch. Since I'm a massage therapist, I'm really grateful for the. I really appreciate the quality of good touch and hugs and writing poetry, utilizing my throat chakra a whole lot because just as therapists, we're not just massage therapists, we're really therapists of all needs. I feel like all friends are when you call them. So just really showing empathy and putting myself in one's shoes. And that can be a hobby, believe it or not. But I went down with hobbies and I had some strengths and desires, especially desires like strong body, health, all of that jazz, lots of money. And then with my passions, it kind of balanced out with with my hobbies, with poetry and being to writing and massage therapy and music. So, um, all of them really. So, thanks.
Woo. Okay, thank you. What's next? It's only three of y'all. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
I'll go. I too struggled. Um, yeah, because I was like, what's considered a strength? I'm usually good on my strengths, but I didn't have many for strengths. I kind of went, I don't know. So, um, yeah, I kind of can't seem to gather. Like I feel like I'm just here but out there. So I was having a hard time reeling in the to like label things. So like for values, I have love, honesty, caring, listening. Um, Desires. I know desires for me, I think I'm probably um uh, there's just so much there's just so many people and so much harm and hurt that my desires around are more around just actually getting to experience people growing and healing and getting some freedom like that just gives me life and travel. Starting to figure out some travel loves. So I had quite a few hobbies, which I didn't think I really had hobbies. I think they're hobbies: reading, art appreciation. I'm not like artistic or creative per se, but I love all kinds of art, like paintings, drawings, music, dance, whatever it is, movies. I like to take it in, and then I love learning um, and puzzles. So
I have puzzles too. Okay. Okay. All right. Ashley or Tanisha?
Okay. Um, I had a few. I was kind of like I was jumping around a little bit. Um, my passions and hobbies are kind of similar. Um, because I'm super passionate about certain things. Like singing, storytelling, dancing. That's a passion, but that's also considered a hobby as well, because I actually do these things. Um, my strengths are problem solving in a way where there could be results, but not necessarily always. But that's sort of a strength that I have found. Um, and then of course being in the IT world, I feel like that's developed more. Um, desire, my desires is kind of like my face. I was like, listen, I want a belly, like a flat belly. I want my booty to be a little higher because it's a little saggy, just a little bit. It's hurting my back now. Um, have a better understanding of just between others, not necessarily in a bad situation, but just kind of understand people overall. Um, that's pretty broad, but yeah. But yeah, and then being a better mother, and being intentional about how I show up for all of my children, um, including the really, really big one.
Not that
Values.
big.
Huh?
Baby alone. He ain't that big.
I was talking about the adult big one.
Oh, carry on.
So, values, family, and then connection with loved ones, not necessarily them having to be family blood related, but really having a deep connection. I feel like that is more of a value than a desire. Okay, that's it.
Okay. T, I know you jumped out to drive. Were you able to do it? I don't think she was, but that's okay. Um, y'all done messed me up with these desires. I didn't have nothing in that category, but now I want a whole chest. I want the chest that I had when I was first nursing. I need the stomach to go away.
It was so pretty, huh? It just set up nice and
They just,
high.
they was just like, hi, talk to us. It was great for me because, I've been a 12-year-old boy my whole life. That was
Facts.
great.
Same here. It's okay.
Hurt my feelings. But yeah, my desires kind of, I was writing them as I'm listening to y'all. And I want to maintain my peace. I'm about to be 44 and I'm like, listen, I have sacrificed entirely too much of my peace for people who are not adding value, or with people who were temporary, or for situations that were temporary and did not deserve my energy. So at this point, I have reclaimed my energy, and I desire full peace in every area of my life. Full health, but the desire to want to do the work that it takes to get healthy, because currently I'm allergic to exercise and sweat. Yeah. I desire to be known. That, one of my values is community and another one is connection. And I think that comes back to childhood for me. I grew up in a house with two twin sisters that were 3 years older than me and a brother that was 4 years older than me. I'm the baby. I'm the favorite. I am. It's fine. But we grew up in the same household and we were not close. And so I think that's the yearning for me now as an adult person. Like, I yearn to be connected to sisterhood, and I yearn to be known. And I've always been one that pours out into other people, but few take the time to pour back into me. So I find myself creating spaces where I'm like, no, that doesn't work. I want to gain something too. So, but then I find myself facilitating a lot of the time, but I've always been able to add something back or get something back out of it. So that's it. That's a joy for me. Passions was difficult. I'm passionate about personal growth and healing, not just for myself, but for everybody that I encounter. And so it was hard. What I was trying to do is not put things on this paper that required me taking on or pulling one of those rocks out of my backpack or putting one of those rocks back in my backpack. I was trying really hard to not do that while I'm identifying these things, because this is just for me. But it's hard. One of my values is service. And so I'm like, okay, well, I have a value of service. I have to be serving people or serving others. So how do I put that down? And I was like, there's a degree to where I have to put some boundaries in place, but I can continue to be in a space of service. So I need to discover that a little bit. Yeah. So because we're almost at time, I'm going to ask you guys to continue. I'm going to ask you guys to continue building this out. Okay. And then the thing that you're going to do for this isn't the grow work, but it's going to be the grow work for tonight. Oh, so basically all of y'all are new. I don't believe in homework because it messes with my head. But I do believe in grow work. So the time we spend doing things that are going to help us grow in our healing journey, grow in our knowledge journey, grow in our tools, grow in the things that we need to apply to have a better life or the life that we desire. Those are the things that we actively spend time in to help us grow. So I'm always going to give you grow work. I'm going to invite you into doing some grow work. So what I'd like you to do is finish building this out. This is your identity map outside of other people. And then I want you to narrow this down. I want you to describe yourself in 3 words that are not dependent on other people, on how you show up and in a role with other people. So you can define yourself by your values. You can define yourself by your strengths. You can define yourself by your hobbies, anything on this list, or you can pick something completely random and different. But I want you to identify 3 things of how you would describe yourself, because when we come together again, you're going to introduce yourself by your name and who you are. Go ahead and type it in the chat, Ashley. You always got something to say, ma'am.
She doesn't like digitizing anything. Okay, say that one more time, but don't say it so fast so I can write it.
Finish your map, finish your identity map, and try to make the things that you put on here non-dependent on picking up one of those roles. So non-dependent on anybody else. This is your map. This is your identity map. There might be some crossover. However, I want you to identify then 3 things of how you would introduce yourself. So this is your I am. I am ... And we're going to introduce ourselves the next time that we're together. There is inevitably going to be areas where you are struggling. And Jackie, I really appreciate you saying the passions part, losing sight of the passions part. So what I'm going to do is generate a question bank for each one of these areas. And I'll send that to Marpeza and she'll go ahead and email it out to all of you guys, ladies. And then that way you can continue to build on this. But the whole point of this is really for you to get to know yourself, get reintroduced to yourself, and be on a rediscovery journey. There is a beauty in pausing all the noise and pausing all the labels to take time for yourself. So if you just took 30 minutes a day, and if you can't muster 30 minutes a day, muster 30 minutes in the week, set a timer, book a meeting, book a timer, or set a timer, book a meeting for yourself, block out your schedule, get up 30 minutes earlier, go to bed 30 minutes later if you can, if you're not cranky like me. But whatever it takes, set 30 minutes for yourself this week and fill out those questions and just go on this discovery journey. So Praise is asking everybody to put your emails in the chat, and then she'll go ahead and send out, once I send this to her, she'll go ahead and send out the questions to you. And if it's an area where you're struggling or you want to grow in, go ahead and just pull your questions from there and just spend time answering the questions. If it's another area that you want to grow in, but you didn't struggle, spend time answering the questions. You're all going to get all the same question banks. I'm going to go ahead and just pause us there. And we always close out with an affirmation. But I want to open us up to any questions, concerns, dissent, anything that you guys might be feeling, experiencing, have questions on any of that. So if y'all, yes, ma'am. Thinking about, I just realized.
Can I take a picture of us?
Beginning. Yes. Yes. Oh, that was for everybody. Sorry, Jamila, I was saying yes to your chat. Yeah, we'll go ahead and get these. We'll go ahead and get them out. Marpeza, you got the video or the picture?
Oh yeah, hold on. I'm gonna get those. Don't hang up the
I
chat
won't.
till I get those emails.
I will stay
All right.
on if he wants to stay on also for a few minutes.
Oh, with me? Are you debriefing with others or with me?
I mean, I'll debrief with you too,
Okay.
but I want to be available to all the people.
Yeah, I'm last priority because I can go on and on. Okay. Wait a minute.
Turn your phone the
Alright.
other way.
And one.
Turn your phone the other way.
And what?
Turn your phone the other way.
Why?
Because
Camera
Bossy
upside.
is in tech and she wants the better picture.
Like this?
Yes.
All right, 1, 2, 3. Cheese. Let me look too.
Jesus, cheesy.
Cheese. Okay. Thank you, ladies.
Okay.
I will send that. Oh, wait. Are we gonna do that?
We can't see them. Yeah, it's up to y'all. Do you want to show your map or no? You don't have to.
It's like I never did one. I'm just kidding.
Mine is really ugly.
Look,
I can't see
said
mine.
it. I'm
Yours
a
is
stick
so
figure
pretty.
artist.
I can't
Yours
even
is so
see
pretty.
mine. Oh, I'll just do y'all's.
Oh, Marpeza, you the one got to take the picture.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Let me see if I can lift mine. Thank you for your patience, everyone. Yeah, no,
Other side.
you can't see it really because it has the thing. That's all right.
Okay.
Like, oh, you had sticky notes? Okay.
Like, let me put these.
All right, grow work.
So if we was in person, y'all would have some colored sticky notes right
Yeah,
now.
that's true. You got them.
Y'all would have markers and all the things. Okay. Any questions, any comments, any concerns, anything you want to lift, anything you want to share before we do this affirmation and close out?
I just want to say thank you. Um, Tonight has been a blessing for me. And I really look forward to future connections with all of you. Um, Definitely a bright spot in my week. So, Tia, thank you.
Thank you for saying yes. And I missed your face. So, okay. All right. Anybody else?
I just want to say peace and love and gratitude for having me always. Usually when I remember last week you stated that you were going to be talking about labels. And it's been quite a hectic week, but I almost wrote a poem about labels, but I didn't get to all the way through it, just to be honest. But I do have something of what you guys had said tonight about just like being able to step out of those roles and knowing that you'll be okay with that role or not. And hold on, Sienny. Hold on, babe. And just kind of just make sure that you're remembering yourself. So I do have a little poem.
Come on.
And it's called The Cost of Loving, because that's what you're doing.
My video.
Am I
And
still recording? Okay.
the cost of loving. Do you love someone more than you love yourself? Well, let me tell you, the cost of that is not so healthy. The cost of loving, it costs you your time, it costs you your heart, it costs you your patience, your love, and your art. It costs you your passion, desires, shit you'll probably never even start. Don't let it cost you your big opportunities. Don't let it cost you your energy that cannot be depart from loving yourself. Your health, your mental cannot come before anyone else. It's simple when you find you again. Don't let you go. I love you, but I love myself more.
Love it.
Gratitude.
I love you, but I love myself more. Mm.
Yeah, and just making sure that you love yourself. You can only love yourself and step into the role of being yourself before you could be any type of other label or titles or anything else that other people would like to call you. You're you first. So be careful.
Thank
Thank
you, sis.
you.
Thank you.
So this whole thing is not, we're not having to remove the labels from ourselves. It's just a matter of give ourselves a minute to just be us. We were not always moms. We were not always caretakers. We were not always bosses. We were not always the other things. We are women. We are living. We are women being. We are humans being, not humans doing. So give yourself permission to just be. Give yourself permission to be. And whatever that looks like, whatever form that takes for you. Okay, Ashley, let me put this in the chat before I ask you to do anything else so you don't fuss at me. Marpeza, did you get all the emails?
Yes. Unless there's more, let me see. Yeah, Lakeisha was the last one.
Bear with me for just a second, y'all. I don't type fast.
Marfeza, do you have my email? Or do
Yeah,
I need
King
to?
and Queens, is that you?
Yeah.
That's you? Okay, cool.
Mhm.
pajamas. Yeah, you need your pajamas.
Okay, can I spell? I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. Yay! Okay. This is our affirmation for today. If we can all come off of mute and we can all read it together in sync with one another,
Yes.
that would be beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I am more than the
More than
role
the roles
I
I
play.
play.
My
My
passion,
passions, dreams,
Dreams and
Dreams.
essence are
Essence
vital
are
vital
parts
of who I
who
am.
I am.
I
I
honor
honor
honor myself
my
So
journey.
and my
my
journey.
journey of rediscovery.
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 Read.
When you rediscover yourself, you're inviting in reinvention, you're inviting in rest, you're inviting in restoration, you're inviting in, well, you inviting in a whole lot of re's. So you figure out your re while you in your rediscovery. Okay. Okay. Peace and blessings, y'all. Have
Peace
an
and love.
amazing rest